Hey, this is the antisocial socialite back at it again. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, you have not yet subscribed. Thanks so much for hitting that subscribe button, smashing that notification bell. Shout out to all the new subscribers. When I get to run this mouth, baby, you're in the loop. You see the title, The Black Woman's Dilemma. You know, shout out to Kevin Samuels. I was listening to his video on the CJ King situation. That video is about a week old, but it's the first time I'm hearing it. And, you know, he opened up the phone lines and talking to different women. And I really appreciate that because that brother had a lot of patience that I know I don't have. So shout out to him for that. And the reason why situations like CJ King are so confusing is because there's way too many false narratives being pushed or arguments founded upon false premises, which obviously it makes it very hard to debate a point that is founded upon an untruth. It's like, do you like eating, potatoes made of ham? And it's like, well, potatoes not made of ham, so I can't answer the question. Well, you're trying to avoid answering the question. No, I can't answer the question because potato is not made of ham. Oh, you're trying to divert the conversation. And when you get into debates with a lot of females, this is how they often couple truths with lies, and then they try to force you into answering questions that are based upon maybe the true part of the statement, but you cannot answer the true part of the statement because of the way that it's attached to falsehood. Okay? When CJ King made his statement about being the prize, some of the assertions he made in that video, or that post, were not correct. And the reason why he's confused is basically because he's listening to women. Women are confused. In the West, women are so confused because they don't know what is right and what is natural. You know, when you look at nations that were great that, fell away, a lot of people always cite Rome. One of the biggest things that happened was freedom. Even the scripture tells us, do not let your liberty become a stumbling block. We are the only creatures on this planet whose existence hinders our own existence. We create food that doesn't nourish our bodies. We create technology that is killing us or could even, destroy us and outthink us. We create factories that poison our air. I mean, you name it, we do it to ourselves. We claim we're trying to make life better, but every advancement seems to just make life worse. Okay? And in the liberal, and when I say liberal, I mean left-leaning, I always equate liberal with, as in, laissez-faire, do what you like. But I know that's not really what liberal means. But for the sake of argument, anytime I say liberal, I mean left-leaning. In these liberal societies where there's no morality, people actually become confused. Because they have so much choice, they don't know how to make a decent decision with that choice. And the modern woman is exactly the same. Since all kind of restraints on how to dress, how to conduct herself, how to, be a lady and, operate as a single woman or a married woman, all those social norms have been deregulated, the woman is spinning out of control. Literally talking out of both sides of her mouth because she has that dualistic nature. And that's the nature of a woman. One side of her wants to, explore that whore side. The other side wants to be the homemaker wife and explore the Madonna side. And the way that you marry the two is simply just wait till you get married and just be a hoe for your husband. That's why I did a video called Be a Hoe for Your Husband. Let your husband turn you out. You work to please him. He works to please you. And then the two of you bond as you grow in your experience. But unfortunately, because of the liberal nature of our society, we've actually tried to secure the husband doing the hoe thing. And then when we get the husband, we don't want to do the things we used to do anymore. which is why so many people are in sexless marriages, when once upon a time people not only used to get married for sex, but that was a big motivator, okay? So CJ King has fallen a little bit because he's literally taking what women say at face value, when what women say and what they really want are two different things. Do they want guys fresh out of prison? Well, a lot of the women are with those kind of men. Men who have children from previous relationships, men who have a woman or a wife already. So this assumption that he's the prize in the eyes of these women is erroneous. I don't know where he got this from. He got this from the narratives that are constantly being peddled that this is what women want. But the reality is, society is telling women what they should want, and what they're told they should want goes against even their own nature and best interest. And the women are not honest about what they want for a number of reasons. Saying I like sleeping around doesn't sound good. It goes against her image. She doesn't want to feel cheap, or she doesn't want to seem like a dirty person or whatever. You know, she doesn't want to be labelled, because that's what her conscience tells her is not the right way to operate. And society still kind of tries to present this image of women who are queens and virtuous and wholesome and nurturing mothers, but they just have a little bit of a freaky side. And no, for some women, that is their entire side. It's not a side, it's who they are, okay? They kind of make it seem as though you're supposed to have fun, and once you've had fun, then you settle down, and then all the things that you used to enjoy, you stop doing. So you're taking benefits and privileges that belong to a spouse, and you're giving them to random people who don't deserve it and give you nothing in return. No emotional support, no security, which is why you have women who are scared to commit to actually decent men, because they've already been burned so many times by guys who they were highly attracted to, but who didn't want to be serious. So when a woman is asked, is CJ King the prize? In her mind, she cannot see how he could be, because she's been told since she was a little girl watching Disney that she is the prize. And we can't have two prizes now, can we? Not only that, in the black community, nothing a black man seems to do is good enough. So even if he's accomplished great things, he's a black man, that is not recognised. And then black women like to say the narrative, but the statistics do not match what they claim they say they want. So CJ King believes he's a prize because he's done a great thing, which is get 2 degrees. He hasn't done all these negative things with his life. He hasn't messed himself up with child support. He's got his education. He's on the way to a great career. He hasn't got criminal convictions. He's not come out of prison. And people say that he's red pill, but I'm wondering, is he really purple pill? Is he somebody who's heard red pill, truth, but he's still trying to cling to a little bit of blue pill thinking, trying to marry the two? Because if you know the statistics, then you would understand that a lot of these women really don't want men who are leaders. They really don't want men who are protectors. They really don't want men who are providers. They want a wallet, and they want a dog that when, things get heavy, they can set it on people, but they don't really want a man who's going to check them, who's going to control his own household. They don't really want that. You see, the same woman asking for the man to be the provider, protector and leader is the very same woman who's crippling the boys in the first place. And then after she ruins the boys, she turns around and says to that boy as a man, I told you you weren't going to amount to anything. But it was her washing her mouth on that child, or this collective of black women talking negatively about black men that really demotivated them from becoming something great. So this is the bit where CJ King has missed his step. And this is the part that black women don't really understand. They're torn between trying to compete with men and trying to live with men. And it cannot work, because the concept of a man being the leader or a protector or a provider is only something that black women say because they want to shame black men for not being those things. But as we can see, when they actually get a man or come in contact with a man who has those attributes, instead of praising him and preparing to, bat their eyes and do the most to attract his attention, instead they become hostile. So this is how brothers, need to recognize. And it's really sad, actually, because it looks so bad on black women that we really are sabotaging our own men. And what this has done is expose how much there is contempt. Because if you say you want a man with all these things, why is there now such a hostile response when he comes out and verbalizes how much he is worthy to be competed for? It's not how he said it, it's what he said. The fact that he was able to verbalize that he feels that he's worthy of being competed over, he recognizes his worth, he recognizes his accomplishments, and he actually feels like, well, if I'm not going to get the recognition and the praise from my own women, I'll easily go to another group. This is scary for black women because they're losing that power and that control over their own men. And poor CJ King, he doesn't seem to realize that what the women say they want and what they actually want are two totally different things. That's why a man always has to make himself his own central point of origin. He has to be the one, dictating his own destiny. He has to be the one focusing on first and foremost his own happiness. And then whoever comes along for the ride comes along for the ride. Because, as they say, you will always lose money chasing women, but you will never lose women chasing money. And obviously it's not just money, it's excellence, it's success, it's, your career, it's achieving your goals. That's what's going to attract a woman of quality into your life. Not making yourself a quality man for a woman, but becoming the best version of yourself and having that sense of pride and confidence that whatever woman comes your way, they have to meet your standard. So it's a really sad state of affairs to hear women arguing about why CJ King's statement is not appropriate. Because in other cultures, men like this are standard, if not celebrated. But in our community, there's no such thing as called enough. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.